If your dog could sit down across the table from you for just 5 minutes, what would he or she want you to know? In today's episode, 5 things your dog wishes you knew, we're going to answer that question with 5 simple truths that could change the way you understand your dog. Welcome to Beyond the Leash, the Captain Flynn Method. Let's see what our dogs can teach us today. Welcome to Beyond the Leash, the Captain Flynn Method. I'm Captain Flynn, of course. Every week we talk about dogs and training and behavior and the incredible bond between people and the canine partners that they love so much. We're going to tell real stories and practical lessons. We'll discover what makes dogs such remarkable companions for us. Let's see what dogs can teach us today. Listen, if your dog could sit across the table from you and have an honest conversation with you, I wonder what they would say. Actually, I know what they would say. After spending 42 years, military, police, prison, service dogs, family pets, training all of them from soup to nuts, I have a pretty good idea of what your dog wants you to know. Most people love their dogs, but many are accidentally creating the problems that we're trying to fix. Today's episode is called 5 Things Your Dog Wishes That You Knew. Some of these might hit home and make you feel a little uncomfortable, but that's okay, because I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm here to help you become the kind of leader that your dog deserves. In other words, I'm here for the dogs. Number 5 thing that they wish you knew. If I could put this one in the dog's mouth, this might be the first thing that I would hear. Please give me something meaningful to do. Every dog needs purpose. Now, I'm not saying that every dog needs to find drugs or chase bad guys like the dogs I train. What I am saying is that work is something that they need to do. These breeds were made for working, and you're trying to keep them in a very kennel or on a couch all day. That is not what they want to do. They want you to know that they need to learn some basic obedience, structured walks, nose work, which we'll talk about at a future time, hiking, carrying a backpack. Yes, they make backpacks for dogs, learning tricks and therapy work. One of my dogs, Scarlett, she needs a job. She's a retired police dog, and now she's a certified therapy dog. I bring her to assisted living facilities. I bring her to old folks' homes. I bring her to schools. She loves the attention, and she loves giving it. Dogs need a job. When we don't give them that job, guess what? They invent one. Usually, that job is tearing up your house. Number 4 thing that your dog wants you to know. Please stop calling me stubborn. Every week I hear this from people. They're like, oh, that dog's stubborn. No, he's not. Listen, there are a few stubborn breeds, and I get it. But the majority of dogs, they're not being stubborn. They just are confused. And that's your fault. You need to learn how to communicate with your dog better. And that really is what a trainer should be doing. He shouldn't be training your dog. He should be teaching you to communicate and train your dog. Most dogs are just confused. They don't know if your commands are actually something that they have to listen to or they have an option. Basically, you got preteens and teenagers. And if you don't make things real clear to them, they're going to get away with bloody murder. And that's what your dog's been doing. If you think your dog is stubborn, it's not. Your dog is confused. And if you don't know how to make things clear, clarity is really important to a dog. You need to get a good trainer because he or she can help you to do that. Number 3 thing that your dog wants you to know or wishes you knew is love me by leading me. This one is super important, folks. Dogs absolutely need affection. I love giving affection to all my dogs. They absolutely need it. But you know what? They first earn it. They earn it. Love isn't training. Love isn't leadership. Love doesn't teach leash manners, and it doesn't teach impulse control either. One of the biggest misconceptions today is that leadership somehow means domination. It doesn't. Good leadership is calm. Good leadership is fair. Good leadership is consistent and predictable. The calmest dogs I've trained over the last 42 years weren't the dogs with the fewest rules. They were the dogs that clearly understood the rules. Dogs don't need a dictator. They need someone they trust to lead the way. A sentimental handler cannot be a good leader. Love your dogs, but be fair. The number 2 thing that your dog wishes you knew is, I'm communicating with you all the time. When are you going to start listening? This one changed my entire career. Dogs are constantly gathering information and trying to share it with us. They do it by their body axis, their energy level, their tail, their ears. The ears are amazingly communicative. Their expressions on their face, and of course, their barking. Even aggression is a form of communication for a dog. They're trying to communicate with us all the time. Watch them. Learn to read your dog. Learn what each individual communication signal from them actually means. I was on patrol in the Philippines one time, and my Belgian Malinois and I were in a washout with elephant grass. It was dark. It was insane. One thing I really enjoyed about my dog, his name was Bruno, was he liked to cut the grass. If you work on patrol, if you're out in the jungle, you know that getting through the grass and the foliage is really, really tough. So to have an active dog out in front of you is a bonus plan. And that was Bruno in a nutshell. He was a trail cutter. I'm behind him. We're leading in. All of a sudden, he stops. I'd come up next to him. I started talking to him. Bruno, what's going on? You know, let's go. We got to get in there. We got to get through this. He would not go through the grass. And I started doubting Bruno. And then I heard it as clear as day, a baby crying. It was clear and it was close. A baby crying in the middle of the night in the jungle of the Philippines. And then I remembered my training, that if you hear a baby crying in the middle of the night, go the other way. It is a baby cobra that can still kill you. Bruno was trying to communicate with me. He was trying to save my life. He knew there was danger and he wanted us to stop. And I did. I did finally listen to him, turned around, and we went on another patrol route. That lesson applies to every dog owner. Your dog notices changes in people. Your dog notices illness and stress and sounds and smells and changes in routine. No, they're not magical. They're paying attention in ways that we will never be able to. And sometimes your dog is trying to tell you. Our job is to learn to listen. And here's the number 1 thing that your dog wishes you knew. The problem is not usually me. This may be the hardest truth of all, but you have to listen to it. Most behavioral problems that I have to diagnose, train, and treat begin at the other end of the leash. Now, before you get mad or defensive, that's actually good news. It's easier to fix a handler than it is a problem dog. If we helped create the problem, we can fix it. Dogs don't just wake up one day and say, hey, I'm going to make these people's lives miserable, unless, of course, they're a min pin. But dogs don't wake up every day and say, I'm just going to make life really, really a living hell for these people. They're responding to what has worked in the past to get their needs met. If jumping gets attention, they'll jump. If barking gets results, they'll bark. If growling gets results, they'll growl. They'll ignore commands if they can get away with it. Dogs aren't being spiteful. They're learning how to get their needs met. The beautiful thing about dogs is they want to have leadership, and they're very forgiving. Change the leadership, change the consistency, change the communication between the two of you. And if you change that communication between you and your dogs, very often you are going to change that dog. I had a client that had a very sharp German Shepherd that she was having major problems with. The dog was showing aggression to everybody except members of the household. They wanted to bring people over to the house, and they could not trust this German Shepherd anywhere around. As a matter of fact, there had been several incidents that resulted in actual bites, broken skin, ripped clothing, you name it. And just to define it, a sharp dog in training circles means a dog that can go from passive to aggressive without showing a whole lot of microaggressions. Sharp. The behavior changes from one side of the knife to the other very quickly, and that knife cuts. So German Shepherds are typically sharp dogs. Anyway, this Shepherd, he was amazing. He came from lines going all the way back to Germany. He was a very expensive German Shepherd. And of course, those lines were designed for guarding houses, guarding people, being police dogs, working dogs. This dog didn't have a job. The problem wasn't the German Shepherd. This dog was trainable. He became trainable. He loved playing ball. He loved doing different things. He needed a job. The dog was communicating the whole time, telling people how he felt. Well, the story has a happy ending because I was able to train that dog. I was able to read him. And more importantly, I was able to teach his handlers, his owners, how to read him, communicate with him. Dog is well adjusted and doing very, very well to this day. Because the owners, once they became the strong, loving leaders that they need to be, the dog responded amazingly. He is still with them to this day. He has never bitten another human being. What dogs care about is clarity, consistency, leadership, and trust. We spend so much time trying to teach our dogs that sometimes we forget our dogs are trying to teach us. The question is, are you listening? Hey, thank you for joining me for this episode of Beyond the Leash. 5 things that your dog wishes you knew. I hope today's episode gave you a new perspective on the dogs in your life. Hey, if you enjoyed the show, like, follow, and share with another dog lover. Until next time, folks, remember, our dogs are always teaching us something. We just have to pay attention. Straight talk, real results, one leash at a time. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time on Beyond the Leash. If you remember nothing else from today's episode, remember this: your dog isn't trying to make your life harder. More often than not, he or she is trying to make sense of the world that you have created. Until next time, remember, our dogs are always teaching us something. We just have to pay attention. Let's see what our dogs can teach us next time. Straight talk, real results, one leash at a time.